Welcome back, Focus Learners. In today's explainer, we are taking a really deep dive into Nexa WMS. That's a warehouse management system. Now, if you've ever felt like your supply chain is literally running you rather than the other way around, you are in the exact right place. We're going to look at the strategies and the software specifically designed to take complete factory floor chaos and turn it into a synchronized, well-oiled machine. So let me ask you something right up front. Are you actually still managing your factory warehouse with clipboards, maybe a few spreadsheets, and honestly, just a whole lot of guesswork? Have you ever had to literally hit pause on your entire production line just to send a team out to manually count boxes of raw materials? It's incredibly frustrating. And in today's fast-paced manufacturing landscape, it's totally unnecessary.
Look, the old way, the manual way, it almost guarantees lost inventory and inevitable human error. It's just a given. But the An Thanh Cong streamlined approach, it gives you a completely synchronized, fully automated warehouse powered by custom software. We're talking night and day here. You go from simply hoping you have the right parts to absolutely knowing you do.
Okay, let's quickly look at our roadmap for this explainer. We're going to cover the manufacturing data chaos, custom solutions for factories, the mobile scanning advantage, smart allocation algorithms, cycle count freezing, and we'll wrap it all up with optimizing your warehouse. Let's get into it. Section 1, the manufacturing data chaos. Let's talk about operational bottlenecks. These universal pain points are probably bleeding your bottom line right now. We are talking about lost inventory, expired goods, completely uncoordinated production plans, and those dreaded manual counting errors. Just imagine the sheer volume of time wasted when managers try to match raw materials with incoming production plans using totally disconnected data. When you have thousands of parts moving every single day, manual tracking isn't just kinda slow, it's a recipe for massive bottlenecks that can literally stall a multi-million-dollar factory floor. Moving on to Section 2, Custom Solutions for Factories. Enter An Thanh Cong Solutions. Established back in 2014, their core mission statement is crystal clear. We provide solutions for your business. Now, what's really interesting here is the depth of experience backing that up. They bring over 10 years of local market expertise right in Vietnam, specifically designing customized software to fit the incredibly unique, highly complex realities of individual factories. They don't just toss you a generic, off-the-shelf program. No, they customize the entire system, from human resources to production to warehouse management, so it perfectly aligns with your exact workflow. All right, Section 3, the mobile scanning advantage. Time to look at real-time warehouse data. This is where things get really cool. With options to create receive notes, confirm picking, set box location, and log missing boxes, this little pocket-sized tool completely replaces that old-school clipboard. Your workers can confirm picks and log data right there on the warehouse floor, in real time. No more scribbling down a serial number, walking all the way back to a desktop terminal, and manually typing it in. The data entry happens exactly at the point of action. It's a real game changer. In practice, it's a perfectly seamless workflow. Seriously, you simply scan the box ID barcode, scan the physical bin location, and boom, confirm to set it. This concrete 3-step barcode scanning workflow instantly updates the central database. So if a worker moves a box of raw materials from rack A to rack B, your system knows about it the exact second that scanner beeps. But wait, what about quality control? Well, the system actually has a built-in digital gatekeeper, and the absolutely crucial piece here is this QA pass. Before any item is officially placed on a rack and given that final label for warehouse entry, the system demands this strict quality assurance confirmation. It physically prevents defective, unverified, or just incorrect materials from ever sneaking their way onto your production line. Which brings us to Section 4, Smart Allocation Algorithms. Let's dive into automated picking logic. The system uses 2 critical allocation parameters to make this work: receive ERP and expired_date. Honestly, think of the software like an ultra-efficient traffic cop. When a worker needs parts, the system automatically points them to the oldest stock first. For standard parts, it checks the receive ERP, making sure the lowest ID number is picked first. That's your strict FIFO, or first in, first out rule. But for perishable items, it looks at the expired_date to pick the earliest date first, which is FIFO, first expired, first out. This automated enforcement completely eliminates the guesswork that usually leads to super expensive material spoilage. So, what happens if you actually don't have enough parts for an order? Well, the software immediately fires off automatic stock discrepancy alerts. If a manager is building a picking list and the warehouse is short on quantities, the system instantly highlights that order quantity in bright yellow. You catch the bottleneck immediately.
That gives you actual time to react before the production line goes totally quiet, just waiting for a part that isn't even in the building. Next up, Section 5, Cycle Count Freezing. This is all about zero downtime audits.
Okay, so what does the number 0 mean here? It represents the exact amount of warehouse-wide downtime required to conduct a cycle count using this software. Yep, you heard that right. 0 hours, 0 downtime. You don't have to completely shut down your factory just to count your stock anymore. How is that even possible, right? Well, it's through a brilliant feature we can call a deep freeze. When you kick off a cycle count, the system locks down only the specific part number that you're auditing. It totally disables any movement or transactions for that one single part, while the entire rest of your warehouse and your production line continues completely normal operations. You're just locking down a single item, not shutting down the whole factory floor.
To actually pull this off, you just add your target part to the cycle count, which tells the system to instantly freeze it. Then, your worker uses the mobile app to scan the bins and confirm the actual physical quantities, and you just click to apply any difference transactions. The mobile app syncs flawlessly with the desktop system to immediately calculate and correct any inventory discrepancies. It is such a massive time saver.
And finally, Section 6, Optimizing your warehouse. Achieving total operational control. This kind of true oversight is made possible by a highly precise 4-tier location mapping system. It drills all the way down from the broad warehouse level, down to the section, down to the rack, and finally right down to the individual bin. It also sets up these strategic staging zones, separating waiting areas for incomplete orders from production zones for ready-to-go materials. And because absolutely every transaction is tracked automatically via those barcode scans, all of this data rolls up into crystal clear monthly inventory calculation reports. You literally transform daily data chaos into clear, actionable executive intelligence. Which brings us to our final point, and really the big question you need to ask yourself going forward. Is your warehouse just a storage unit, or is it a strategic advantage? By tossing out those old clipboards, leveraging mobile scanning, enforcing smart allocation algorithms, and taking advantage of zero downtime cycle counts, Nexa WMS gives you the power to fundamentally rethink what your factory logistics can actually achieve. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer. I really hope it gave you some incredible insights into taking full control of your supply chain. Catch you next time.